Hey, hi guys, insight number 3. This one's probably going to sound very familiar to you because it's something that's often said, especially from like my grandparents' generation who now will be in their 90s. So if you had a nana when you were younger and you're kind of my age, then you would have heard this one, I'm sure, or something to the extent of that. So chapter 15 verse 1 says, "A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger." So, what difference do soft answers make to you? Now, this is a chapter on effective communication, listening, and how to find wisdom in both. So, like, not just listening, but effective communication. Because you got to remember, back in the day, I didn't have cell phones and texts and email, and they only had voice-to-voice communication. There was writing communication available, but paper was a premium product, mostly used by kings, and for most of the population, as are now, are not kings. So, our most effective way of communication these days is generally a text message or a message through Facebook or some other type of social media app or an email. Even most of our accounts and things from different companies will get sent to email. So how do we have effective communication in today's world that has a soft answer? And I don't mean soft as in weak or not effective, but it is most effective when used correctly. So, who likes being yelled at? Like, nobody. I said to my nephew the other day, "I will never yell at you." He's like, "Not even if I was really naughty?" I was like, "No." I said, "The only thing I'd yell at you is if you were like clear across the other side of a park, and I'd be yelling out, 'Noah, here I am, I'm over here.' And he'd be like, 'Oh, yes, there's Auntie. Okay, we're good.' That's the only time I would ever yell at him. Or any of my nieces and nephews. I don't want to yell at people. It's horrible. It makes my throat hurt. And it destroys souls. I don't want to do that. It's just not good. And it doesn't get you the answers you need. Or doesn't meet your needs. It gets rid of that immediate frustration feeling. And then leaves you feeling really awful. So don't yell. It's just not good. Doesn't get what you want. So calm, Christ-like communications, replete with understanding and grace, is the most effective form of communication. Whether spoken, emailed, text, signed, like sign language, written, or silently understood. There's people that can just look at you from across the room and like just be like, and you're like, like, you don't even have to have the conversation. You just know. It is an effective communication. Now, I've told you when last year when my husband was in hospital and he had had his triple bypass and he was in a room with a patient who was clearly schizophrenic, having an episode and not able to take the medication because they'd had to give him heart surgery. And I said to, my husband's tough guy, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't feel safe. And I'm like, no, you're not. And I'm not leaving until you do. Now, first the nurse came around and said, oh, you need to go. Visiting hours are over. I said, no, my husband doesn't feel safe. I've been trying to get your attention. Either move my husband or you need to move that other gentleman. And she said to me, oh, he's entitled to have surgery too. I said, I didn't say that he wasn't. In fact, I'm really glad he got the surgery. I'm glad he's getting the medical attention he needs. He deserves a chance at life just like everybody else does. However, his mental state just is not healthy for those other patients right now that literally can't defend themselves and are hooked up to the bed, so they can't even get out and run away, or hide. There's nowhere to go if the situation that's unfolding, a few meters from us right now really goes bad. And I said this very calmly. And honestly, this is the first time in my life that I haven't actually where's your manager? Need to talk to them. I've gotten better at it in shops. Hospitals trigger me in a terrible way. And she just no, blah, 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 and just left it, came back, and there's no room to move me anywhere. I'm like, well, then you need to find somewhere. No, there isn't anywhere. I was like, well, then go and look again. But I was really nice about it. I wasn't being condescending in any way. Go and look again. So eventually they brought the doctor around. The doctor looked at everything, and I wasn't leaving. I was just sitting there calmly, just no, he doesn't feel safe, and I'm not leaving him not feeling safe because he wouldn't do that to me. if I wasn't feeling safe. And it's sucky, it's a really sucky, hard situation for everybody involved. And there was just lack of isolated rooms due to COVID. Oh, it's just a horrible situation all around. And it's just, he was just not dealing well with the situation, this poor man. Absolutely freaked out of his environment and his comfort zones, off his medication. Not a good thing, right? And I'm sure when he's on his medication and in his comfort space, he's a lovely guy. But it just wasn't going that well. And he was getting violent. And I'm like, I don't want to leave, for the safety. So eventually, as it turned out, they came and said, okay, we found a place. And they moved someone else into that space and moved my husband out of it. And I felt for the guys that were left in there, because all of them wanted to be moved. But my husband did. Why was that? Because I advocated for him first. But I also knew that while I was doing that, I was not alone in doing that Christ was by my side, helping me to give soft answers, kind answers, but also stand my ground. So it doesn't mean that you have to be weak with it. It just means that yelling is not going to get you what you need. A soft answer turneth away wrath. Turneth away wrath. Soft answer will turn away anger. She could see, this nurse in charge could see, I wasn't angry, I wasn't upset, I understood the situation, I accepted that everybody needs a chance at surgery. However, I wasn't going to leave my husband in an unsafe situation. And in doing all of that, and I felt really kind of bad for the rest of those men in there who didn't have that ability or that knowledge of Christ to help them and to have a prayer about it, because I was having a lot of prayers about that. So yeah, that was something that really taught me the scripture is true, that a soft answer will change the whole demeanor of a conversation. And you can bring it down from up here very quiet if you just give an honest, soft answer, a kind answer. So yeah, whether it is spoken, emailed, texted, signed, written, or silently understood, your body language and the way you behave make a lot of difference in a situation. Gordon B. Hinckley, he said, cultivate the art of the soft answer. It will bless your homes. It will bless your lives. Of that I absolutely know. It is far better to do that, even if you need to remove yourself from a situation because it's getting up there and you're not comfortable in it. If you can leave, leave. Walk away. Don't be getting in there with the anger. Just leave it. People aren't going to change. People are going to continue their behaviors. Don't be a part of it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's really wise words. Really good line of wisdom there. See? Wisdom. Not just having the knowledge of it, but the wisdom of it. And last year I really was taught the wisdom of it. There you go. All right. Hang around for the fourth one. I'll be there soon.